The best way to forestall atrophication of bodily tissues and muscles is to exercise one's body. This is how I am welcoming you to today's episode of Isthmus Daily Rendezvous with your boy MC Likeliki Kafagachuku Amos on Isthmus TV. Today we shall be discussing a topic that is widely known and it's very important to everyone. Exercising one's self, the importance of exercise. It's even in the Bible where the scriptures made us to understand that bodily exercise profited little, but spirituality is of great gain. So bodily exercise profited. That's something that we derive. That's an advantage that someone gets when one exercises himself. Okay, so having said that, that means that exercise is an activity that tasks someone to, develop his mental, bodily, corporeal, um, his ability to retain or exercise his strength. All right, yes, to grow or intensify or exercise his strength beyond what is normal. All right, your ability to exercise, whether it's your physical strength or your mental strength or your spiritual strength, beyond your normal capacity. That means a process of improving or growing your capacity. Okay, so today we are going to look at the various forms of exercise that we have. But before we do that, it's important that we look at this quotation from Rendezvous, who said that if it doesn't challenge you, it won't change you. Anything that doesn't challenge one wouldn't change one. So why do people, you know, engage themselves in exercise? One, if you find out that the way your body structure is no longer appealing to you, what do? You do what is called body work. You begin to exercise, to find out the best way to lose weight. Have you seen it? If you find out that you are spiritually lacking behind, you begin to do what they call spiritual exercise. The Catholics call it penance. So the Pentecostals will say you fast and pray and begin to ask God to take away spiritual burnout. Hallelujah. Isn't that wonderful? Okay. Now, but if you're a student, then you will do what is called mental exercise to increase your cerebral function, the speed with which you retain and assimilate, things that you read. Okay, so that means that we have four major kinds of exercises. Have you seen it? We have mental exercise, bodily exercise, spiritual exercise, and as well entrepreneurial or occupational exercise. So let's begin with the first one. But before we go move further, be reminded that this is Isthmus Daily Rendezvous on Isthmus TV with the boy MC Lekeleki. And you will be of great uh, encouragement to us when you get copies of my book only on Amazon Kindle, which include Spiral Jara, Tonopart, Rise from a Rubble, Stune, The Essence of Prudence, Pyramid Fall, and Naren Kobo, and other poems, as well as Otunyas and Wika. Alright, so we begin with mental exercise. It's often said that people have different capacities when it comes to making use of their brain and their mind. There are some people who are blessed in such a way that they can use their mind to solve problems, to read and understand. Some people who are very creative also know how to make use of their mind. Hmm. But the issue is this only gotten innately? That means, is it just a gift that comes with nature, or is it what someone will have to develop by him or herself? That's a pertinent question today. You know, researchers have proven and have continued to, corroborate the fact that intelligence, though um, some people consider it an innate ability, well, it's also as a result of perspiration. When someone makes a decision to become better at anything, that's why they say whatever a man, you know, places his mind on and says I'll achieve it, I'll get it. That's in the power of positive thinking. What's the name of the author? The American author. You know, so that's what we're saying. Um, if anyone will decide, will make a decision and said, I am going to increase my mental capacity and begins to work, towards that direction, by, trying to, find out cognitive ways, ways of cognition that, he hasn't hitherto before then engaged in. Have you seen it? For instance, there was a time when I was struggling with poetry, the genre of literature that I enjoy most these days. There was a time when if you talk about poetry, I would run away and said, come on, this is not my thing. But I got to realize that poetry is the simplest genre of literature if you understand the underpinnings, if you understand the historical, understand the psychological mood that the author or the poet is in when he wrote the poem. That's all. That's all. So, what is it? What is the secret you need to learn about that thing that you're doing that will make it to become very easy? That's it. Cognition is not in any way difficult if you know the right steps to follow. That's what this program is about today. Knowing the secret or the mystery behind that which you want to know. All right. So, how does one train one's mind to become very effective in retention if you're a student? All right. Now, you know, people who have done neuro linguistic programming or cerebral programming always advise that people in such category should, do what they call visualization, mental creation. Instead of trying to cram something, try to see that thing with the eyes of your mind. That's visualization. Have you seen it? Yes, especially in um, Robin says, what is it again? Unlimited power. He dwelled so much on neuro linguistic programming. Using your mind, to see what you want to, learn. If you have it in your mind, you see it constantly, and it becomes part of you. You can reproduce it at any time, and you can implement it to use it to solve problems anytime you're called upon. Have you seen it? That's it. Then we have another class of exercise which has to do with the bodily exercise for people who go to the gym to lose weight or to increase their or to reduce their abs or to increase their muscles. Bodily exercise. Maybe if you're a model, you have to exercise to keep your shape, to stay in shape, so that the company that you model for wouldn't say you're no longer living up to expectation. Those of them that are into acting also, they build their bodies, the body structure in such a way that they will look like Prince Charming. Have you seen it? Make them become swanky and irresistible. Oh, that's good. All right. Bodily exercise, because of the kind of work that you are involved in. Okay. Look at them that are also bouncers, very good. They grow their body structure in such a way that they become very, very intimidating. So, the other kind of exercise that we are going to talk about today is spiritual exercise. Now, spirituality is something that many people have trivialized. Whether it's positive spirituality or negative spirituality, spirituality is very, very important. Now, we're going to talk about positive spirituality because that's what I practice. I don't practice negative spirituality, which has to do with the practice of sorcery and all those negative, satanic, and demonic issues, and endeavors. So we're talking about spirituality that has to do with God and His kingdom. God, as I have come to know, God is the person who is the owner of the universe. He is the owner of everything in existence. He can decide to change a man's story when a man becomes very, very loyal to him. That's the word that we use. If you become very, very loyal, God can transform you in a twinkle of an eye, that people will begin to marvel. Is this not this person that we used to know? Is this not this person? What happened? So that's it. You know, the spiritual um, backend is of utmost importance in everything that we do. Whether it's work that we're doing, whether it's school, whether it's whatever it is. If you have the requisite spiritual backing, you'll find that you will go a very long way and you will make tremendous noticeable progress. And then the other kind of exercise is entrepreneurial or occupational exercise. Now, those who are working are given targets. There's always a scope that you must, stay with, you must cover. Every day you go to work, there must be something, that's going to be mapped out for you to accomplish, or else your bosses will be on your neck. All right, that's it. Um, Occupational exercise. When you're given targets, do you run away? Of course not. You have to work out your salvation, that's as is said. You have to work it out. Make sure that you grind out the result if that's the only way possible. This is still Isthmus daily rendezvous, and we're reaching you live from the city of Old Town. My name is still MC Liki Okafo Ugochukwu Emos. Now, going to the last lap of this program today, what are the advantages? Is there anything that one will gain if one begins to exercise one's capacity and proficiencies? What are the things that one start to gain? Of course, it is obvious that you will become more acceptable to the people that matter. That's the people that you work for, whether it's in office, whether it's in school. If you're someone who is able to meet targets, someone who is able to mind your own business and deliver on results, of course, you will definitely, be sought after always. That's number one advantage of exercising one's body, one's mind, one's spirituality, mental ability, and all that. And the second thing to note is that you will be in shape, all right? Staying in shape is a very difficult thing. Knowing what to do, what is expected of you at every point in time, is a difficult thing to do, because there are so many things that will want to distract you. So many things looking for your attention, and if you mistakenly look the other way, find out that you flop. You would have made the expectation of the people that matter in your life. Isn't it? Okay, bodily exercise also helps to keep you in health. You know, if it's mental exercise, it keeps your cerebral power in shape, or in its optimal capacity. Have you seen it? So it helps you stay healthy mentally, spiritually, bodily, occupationally. You stay healthy, because that will get to a point in the workplace where they will do what is called downsizing. Hmm. Guess who are the people to downsize? People who do not meet the obligation and expectation of the owners of the establishment. So that's it. This is where we're going to be drawing the curtain today. My name is still MC Licky. We're going to make a comeback tomorrow. Stay blessed. Stay tuned.